Uganda has been reviewing its peacekeeper deployment in Somalia as well as the Central African Republic. Now, this could lead to a troop withdrawal. The army has formed a special committee and its recommendations will reportedly be followed. It's not the first review of Uganda's peacekeeping operations, but recently Ugandan peacekeepers in the African Union mission to Somalia, or AMISOM, have not been paid. Uganda has played a crucial role in bringing stability to the Somali capital, Mogadishu. Kampala has around 6,000 soldiers in the country. Right, let's get you more on this now. CCTV's Michael Baleke joins us live from Kampala, and standing by for us in Mogadishu is CCTV's Abdulaziz Billo. Michael, let's start with you. We know that this is a review of Kampala's military engagement, but just tell us what this military review will actually entail.
Well, Lindy, we have not yet got an official response from the army authorities here in Kampala. It is still rather speculative, but media reports have quoted the army spokesperson saying Uganda is reviewing the UPDF involvement in the African Union mission in Somalia, but a decision to withdraw has not yet been taken. We also understand that a special committee has been constituted, and its recommendation, we understand, will be followed. But just to let you know, this is not the first time, actually, that Kampala is reviewing its participation in AMISOM. But we note that it is the first time they are considering a pullout from Somalia, of course, and the Central African Republic.
All right, well, Abdulaziz, let's bring you in here now. The first time that Uganda is considering a pullout of troops in Somalia. How is that news being received there in Mogadishu?
Well, Lindy, authorities here in Mogadishu have not yet formally commented on the decision by Uganda to express its interest in pulling out from the mission. Authorities here actually have been rather silent because Kampala has not yet formally said that it's withdrawing its troops, but it's reviewing its mandate here of its as a troop contributing country member for the African Union mission in Somalia. But Lindy, you're right, the Ugandan forces here in Somalia, almost 6,000, they are the largest contingent of peacekeeping mission here in Somalia, AMISOM. Now, interestingly, is since the inception of the African Union mission in Somalia in 2007, Uganda has been the first country that took the risk of sending its troops here to Somalia to be able to liberate the capital, Mogadishu, from militant activities by the Al-Shabaab that was growing at a rather speedy pace at that time. But one thing is the experts here are saying that Uganda, since it was the first country to send troops here to Somalia and has paid the ultimate sacrifice, since it has lost hundreds of soldiers here in Somalia in liberating the capital and the surrounding areas, then definitely Uganda needs to stay until the mission has been achieved, or until the United Nations or the African Union come up with a measure to disband the entire mission, if at all this mission was successful. So we are keeping tabs on this story, and we are trying to monitor comments from authorities at this stage.
Well, let's just bring Michael back in there for a minute. Of course, as you just heard there, Abdulaziz saying that Uganda, being one of the first countries to offer military assistance to Somalia, and has perhaps for that reason made some of the biggest sacrifices. At this point, though, why would it be that President Museveni would seriously consider withdrawing those troops? Is it very likely to happen?
Well, Lindy, that is a very difficult move for President Museveni. President Museveni is a very difficult person to predict at this time. Well, he moved into Somalia when all other African countries were hesitant to go there. And with more than 6,000 troops, you know, Uganda has the biggest contingent in the AU mission there. It has played a crucial role, of course, in the stability of Somalia. And President Museveni has consistently said that he would stay there for the sake of security of the region. But you know, Lindy, the review comes shortly after Uganda complained about its troops going without pay for months. It also follows the cut in financial support from the European Union by about 20%. Kampala says this has greatly affected the running of the mission in Somalia. So maybe by threatening to pull out, President Museveni is trying to get the world attention that security in Somalia and security in Africa and Central African Republic is a collective responsibility. Security experts, of course, are saying Uganda's withdrawal could be a wrong move, and it may give Al-Shabaab and other groups room to take over more territory.
And I suppose, just bringing you back in, Abdulaziz, this might force AMISOM to make some new, really important decisions. They might find themselves in a very difficult situation. Just what kind of an impact would this withdrawal or this possible withdrawal have on AMISOM's operations in Somalia?
Well, Lindy, you're right. The pullout of 6,000 troops from Somalia will deal a major blow to the African Union mission in Somalia that was slowly beginning to gain momentum after suffering deadly attacks from the Al-Shabaab. Now, the African Union forces here in Somalia under the Somali government have actually been on the back foot in the past months, but they've actually rekindled the fight against the Al-Shabaab, and they're slowly gaining grounds here in Somalia and also aided by U.S. drone strikes. But this will deal a major blow for AMISOM in the sense that the troop contributing countries, in this case Ethiopia, Burundi, Kenya and Djibouti, will have the African Union will have to ask these troop contributing countries to send in additional battalion of soldiers to fill the void that was left behind by Kampala. Now, interesting to note is that Uganda has played a key role in the liberation of Mogadishu. It's the only country with its forces inside the capital and the surrounding areas. So definitely, if Ugandan forces pull out from AMISOM and the 6,000 troops pull out, then Mogadishu will have a hard time to secure this security of this part of the country and also the regions that is next to the capital. And also the Al-Shabaab will be able to regroup and be able to carry out attacks against the Somali army and Somali bases. Now, also interesting to note is that the Somali military is not yet in any position to take charge of the country's national security. So definitely this will deal a major blow, especially at a time when AMISOM is gaining more support and also at a time when Somalia is headed for elections. Definitely authorities here will want to have a secure environment free from Al-Shabaab so that elections can be held in a safe environment.
Well, no doubt regional leaders will be keeping a close eye on this military review that is taking place in Uganda. Thanks very much to CCTV's Michael Beleka joining us in Kampala and Abdulaziz Bilo live for us there in Mogadishu.